Nobody talks about this. And that's exactly why most people are losing every single day without even knowing it. You walk into a room, you say nothing, but everyone has already decided who you are. Psychologists call this the zero acquaintance effect. The human brain forms a complete personality judgment about you before a single word leaves your mouth. And the brutal truth, that judgment sticks. It shapes how people treat you, whether they respect you, whether they find you attractive, for the entire rest of that interaction. Here is what's even more confronting. Most people are actively destroying their own first impression with body language patterns they picked up unconsciously as children, patterns they have never once questioned. But neuroscience has now mapped exactly which nonverbal signals trigger attraction, trust, and perceived confidence in the human brain. And those signals can be rewired. In this video, I am breaking down 8 body language secrets rooted in real psychology and science. Not opinions, not motivational fluff, that will make you instantly more attractive and more commanding in every room you enter. Secret 1. The postural dominance signal. Here is something your school never taught you. Your spine is directly connected to your psychological state, and your psychological state is directly connected to how attractive others find you. A 2010 study published in Psychological Science found that expansive, upright posture doesn't just affect perception. It physically increases testosterone and reduces cortisol in your own bloodstream. Translation: standing tall doesn't just make you look confident. It biochemically makes you become confident in real time. The brain and body are in constant two-way communication. Most people assume emotions create posture. Science says posture creates emotions just as powerfully. So when you collapse your chest, round your shoulders, and drop your chin, your own brain reads that as a threat response and floods your system with stress hormones. You feel worse, you perform worse, you appear worse. The correction is not complicated. Spine neutral, chest open, chin parallel to the floor, shoulders back and down. Not forced, just released. Do this consistently and your nervous system will begin to rewire itself around a new, dominant baseline. Your body will stop apologizing for being in the room. Secret 2. Eye contact in the brain's trust circuit. Neuroscientists at MIT discovered that eye contact activates a specific neural pathway called the social engagement system, a hardwired circuit in the human brain that evaluates whether another person is safe, trustworthy, and worth connecting with. When you make confident, steady eye contact, you are literally triggering a positive neurological response in the other person's brain. When you avoid it, you trigger the opposite. A subtle alarm signal that registers you as untrustworthy or low status. But here is the part most people get wrong. Intensity matters. The goal is not to stare. The goal is warm, consistent presence. Research suggests holding eye contact for roughly 60% of a conversation, enough to signal confidence and genuine interest without crossing into aggression. One powerful technique: focus on one eye at a time rather than darting between both. It creates an impression of depth and sincerity that people feel strongly but rarely understand why. And when you break eye contact, always break sideways, never downward. Downward gaze is a universal submission signal recognized across every human culture ever studied. Secret 3. Slow movement and the status paradox. Pay close attention here because this one reframes everything. In virtually every social species on Earth, primates, humans included, movement speed is a direct indicator of threat level and social rank. Low-status individuals move quickly, erratically, and reactively. High-status individuals move slowly, deliberately, and without urgency. This is not a coincidence. It is evolutionary biology. When you are constantly fidgeting, shifting weight, touching your face, and moving with nervous energy, your nervous system is broadcasting a survival stress response. Everyone around you picks this up subconsciously and registers you as anxious, low rank, and unattractive. When you slow down, when every gesture becomes intentional, every movement becomes purposeful, you trigger the opposite neurological response in observers. Their brain classifies you as non-threatened, high status, and socially dominant. Psychologist Albert Mehrabian's research confirmed that movement quality communicates emotional state more reliably than facial expression alone. Slow your walk, slow your hand gestures, slow your head turns, even slow your blink rate slightly. You will feel the shift in how people respond to you within the first conversation you try this. Secret 4. Open versus closed body architecture. Your body has an architecture, and right now, that architecture is either inviting people in or silently repelling them. Closed body language. Crossed arms, tucked elbows, legs pressed together, torso angled away, is processed by the observer's amygdala as a defensive posture. The amygdala is the brain's threat detection center. When it detects defensive signals, it creates an unconscious feeling of unease or social distance in the person watching you. They don't know why they feel slightly uncomfortable, they just do. Open body language does the complete opposite. It deactivates the threat response and activates what neuroscientists call the approach motivation system, the brain circuit responsible for attraction, curiosity, and the desire to get closer to someone. Uncrossed arms, visible hands, torso directly facing the person you're speaking with, relaxed, slightly widened stance. These are not just aesthetic choices, they are neurological triggers. A landmark study from the University of Tromso confirmed that open body posture increased perceived attractiveness ratings by up to 76% compared to identical faces paired with closed postures. Secret 5. The biomechanics of a powerful walk. Walking is the most repeated physical act of your social life, and most people have never spent a single conscious moment improving it. Research in nonverbal communication identifies 4 biomechanical markers that observers use to instantly assess a person's confidence, health, and attractiveness from their gait alone. First is vertical bounce. A slight, natural rise and fall with each step signals energy and vitality. Second is arm swing. Natural, relaxed arm movement signals ease and openness. Stiff arms signal tension. Third is pace consistency. Erratic speed changes signal nervous energy. A steady, unhurried pace signals control. Fourth is forward gaze. Eyes level and forward signals presence and confidence. Eyes cast downward signals social withdrawal. A fascinating study from Nottingham Trent University found that observers could accurately predict a person's personality traits, including dominance and extroversion, with significant accuracy from just a few seconds of watching them walk. Your walk is not just movement. It is a full personality broadcast happening in real time. Audit yours. Improve it. The return on that investment is enormous. Secret 6. Facial muscle control and the attraction signal. Your face contains 43 individual muscles, and the vast majority of people have zero conscious control over them. Psychologist Paul Ekman spent decades mapping what he called microexpressions, involuntary facial signals that leak genuine emotional states in fractions of a second. Here is why this matters for you directly. If you are carrying anxiety, tension, or low self-worth, your face is advertising it constantly, even when you think you look neutral. The most attractive facial baseline shares 3 consistent qualities across every culture studied. First, jaw relaxation. A clenched jaw broadcasts stress and guardedness. A soft jaw broadcasts calm and security. Second, the genuine Duchenne smile. A real smile that contracts the orbicularis oculi muscle around your eyes, not just the mouth. Fake smiles use mouth muscles only. Real ones use the whole face. People detect the difference in milliseconds. Third, the interest brow. A very slight natural lift of the eyebrows during conversation that signals genuine engagement. Master these 3 facial signals and your face begins working for you instead of silently working against you in every social interaction. Secret 7. Spatial ownership and perceived dominance. Princeton University psychologists conducted a series of studies examining how physical space usage affects social perception. Their conclusion was clear and consistent. Individuals who occupy more space are rated as significantly more dominant, more competent, and more attractive than those who contract and minimize themselves, even when all other variables are held constant. This connects to what evolutionary psychologists call territorial display, a deeply ancient signal that communicates resource access, safety, and genetic fitness. When you make yourself small, arms pulled in, knees together, shoulders rounded inward, you are triggering a primal low-status signal that every human brain in the room processes automatically. When you expand, resting arms wide, sitting back fully in a chair, standing with feet shoulder-width apart, you communicate security, ownership, and power. The critical distinction is intentional expansion versus aggressive invasion. You are not taking someone else's space, you are fully inhabiting your own. That difference is felt immediately. Own your physical space without apology and watch the social dynamic around you shift in ways that feel almost unfair. Secret 8. Neurological mirroring and the attraction loop. This final secret is backed by some of the most compelling neuroscience of the last 2 decades. And once you understand it, you will never interact with another person the same way again. In the 1990s, Italian neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti discovered what he called mirror neurons, brain cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing that same action. These neurons are the biological foundation of empathy, social bonding, and human connection. When you subtly and naturally mirror the posture, gestures, and energy of the person you are speaking with, their mirror neurons activate in a way that creates a powerful feeling of rapport, familiarity, and trust. They feel understood without knowing why. They feel connected to you without being able to explain it. They find you more attractive, not because of your appearance, but because your body is speaking their neurological language. The technique: observe the other person's general energy and body position, then reflect it back naturally with a 2 to 4 second delay. Not mimicry. Resonance. Combined with everything in this video, mirroring is the neurological master key to human attraction. Now you know what most people will never figure out, so use it. If this video gave you real value, smash that like button right now and subscribe, because every week I drop content that genuinely changes how you show up in life. Comment below. Which secret are you trying first? Let me know. See you in the next one.